We rocked a whole Red Lobster, and I had cleared $15,000 off of it.
What is your annual revenue right now?
Probably.
So I'm here with Ian Struckle with Nature's Finest.
Yes, sir.
Landscaping.
Yes, sir.
And excavating.
Whatever it takes.
Now, so tell me a little bit, like, how did you get into landscaping?
Started working landscape when I was like 14 years old. Worked for another gentleman, a buddy of mine's dad. We started out just mowing lawns. Started with a small trailer truck, mowing lawns, and people start asking, can you do this? Or you know someone that does this? Yeah, we'll figure it out. And
okay.
So, yeah, it's been a
So
good...
you got into landscaping then, and then at some point you had to decide to start your own business.
Yep.
What was that point? Like, what was the tipping point where you're like, I just got to do this on my own?
3 years with his company. I was making a little over minimum wage at the time, and I had kind of came to him and said, hey, I think I need a raise. He said, I don't think I can afford to give you one. I said, well, I'm going to quit and start my own company. So he said, all right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and he was actually a really big help to me.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
so he's like a mentor too?
Totally. Yeah, he helped me out and gave me insight and helped me with equipment when I was first starting. So that was a nice jump on things for sure.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really good. Are you still in touch with him?
Yes, totally.
Okay,
yep.
cool.
He doesn't do it anymore, but yeah, so.
That was a good reference for everything.
Yeah.
I got this problem. Hey, what do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, go ahead and start your own company. I'll help you if you need it.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And then I started moving part-time with him. I was working 2 days a week with him while my stuff was taken off. And then eventually I got to a point where, I was doing 80 hours a week and I was still working with him. And I'm like, hey, I need to go full-time with this. So,
wow.
Yeah.
What was your startup cost?
$5,000.
$5,000, and that got you what?
Truck, and that was back in 2017 now. So back when stuff was a little more affordable. Mower, trimmer, blower, trailer from Lowe's, $700 trailer, and a truck.
So you're out there mowing, weed eating.
Yep.
And then when did you get into the install side of it?
It was actually, we were doing a job, I don't even know, it might have been a mulch job or something for a buddy of mine's dad, and he said, hey, I'm falling to rock all this right here. He said, something you do? I said, yeah, sure, we'll figure it out. So we took sod cutters and we cut out the whole thing, all by hand. We'd load it in the small single axle mow trailer, take it all to the dump site, take a full crew. I had 2 guys helping me at the time, go hand unload everything, come back, and we did all that. And I think I lost $500 off the job, but
that's always the way it is.
Yeah, but I figured out I needed equipment. So then after that, I started taking more on, and we'd start renting stuff.
Okay.
MTs, dingoes, stuff like that, doing rock stuff. And ever since then, it kind of just kept snowball effect of now being here. So.
Yeah, wow. So, we're in an amazing place right now. This is like on a hill facing Pikes Peak.
Yep, killer view.
This house is going to be sweet. I mean, you got Garden of the Gods right there. It's
up
pretty.
the mountains in 15 minutes,
Yeah,
Woodland Park, Yeah,
it's impressive. What was the point where you said, well, I need to buy equipment versus rent equipment?
When I started looking at cost of rental compared to
monthly
even
payment?
at the time, a monthly payment. At the time we had done a Red Lobster. We rocked a whole Red Lobster, and I had cleared $15,000 off of it. And I took a demo from Caterpillar on a skid loader, so I had the machine for free, so obviously that helped give me some more profit.
Right.
And after that job, I said, okay, I think I'm ready to make the jump and buy one. At the time, my payment was $700 a month on it. So yeah, I had to take the jump, took that $15,000, put it down on buying a machine, and that was kind of the initial of like, okay, maybe I need to get my own equipment, and then it just kind of, keep going from there. But
that's really cool. You did landscaping since 2017.
Yep.
What is your annual revenue right now?
Probably $750,000.
$750,000 million?
Yep.
Okay.
It's kind of a rough number on where we sit at. So I'd say a majority landscape of that. No maintenance. We are all construction, landscape construction. Now moving within the last year more so getting on the excavation side of things, having equipment, stuff like that.
Okay.
Obviously you want to work.
So you're just reinvesting your money all the time. You're
100%.
not even, like you're barely paying yourself
100%.
because you don't need the money because you've got what you need.
No kids,
you're single.
no wife, I got a dog.
You got everything. So, so if you guys are out there and you want to do something and you're single, this is the guy to follow. So you have a girlfriend though?
Yep.
With no kids?
Yep,
like
no
that?
kids, yep. So
you're just reinvesting all the money. You've got a yard.
Yep, got a yard.
Paid for, right?
Yep.
You've got in downtown, right?
Yep.
And then you've got, what all equipment do you have?
I've got a Mini X, we've got 2 full-size skid loaders, and 2 of the MT100s, which are stand-on ones. And those are my bread and butter. Those are what we use a majority of.
And
Those
you've
are my
got trailers.
trailers, dump trailers,
have
goosenecks to haul all my equipment
Okay.
around. So 3 trucks run.
3 trucks,
So
okay.
7 full-time guys right now.
7? Okay, wow.
Yep.
Wow. So what do you do right now? It seems like everybody's having a hard time getting people to hired. You know, like, well, good people
Yep.
that want to work for a decent wage.
Yep.
How are you finding your people?
A majority of my guys, which now at this point, 4 to 5 have been with me 2 or 3 years, treat them right. I mean, they get bonuses after jobs. I try to feed them lunch and just little
Okay.
stuff like that. Let them know they're appreciated for helping do what they do.
So is it more word of mouth from these guys that are like, hey?
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you need anybody?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it is hard to find a good set of hands in a job like this. I mean, it's not enjoyable to come out here and
Right.
work with your hands all day doing stuff, pouring concrete or anything like that.
How do you advertise to get your business?
Word of mouth. Don't have a website, a little bit of social media I kind of started getting into, but 5 years starting off, I mean, I was as busy as I wanted to be. That was,
You never advertise.
No, not really.
Okay.
Other than social media, but never. I had Home Advisor for a month and realized that it was not worth it. So, yeah, we kind of just took a word of mouth. As I would say,
Okay.
you do good work, treat people well,
Just
it comes back
spreads.
tenfold.
You're from here though, right?
Yep, born and raised.
So you knew a lot of
deeper
people already.
connections. Yeah, totally.
So
Yeah, and a lot of my work still to this day is friends, parents from high school. I mean, we're a lot of
Really?
Yeah, so
what if you had to start somewhere else? How would you get the word out?
I'd go up to every construction site and be the first one there in the morning and say, I'll outwork everybody here. What can I do for you?
Yeah.
Shake somebody in the hand, look them in the eyes. That goes a lot further.
Yeah,
So,
that's very true. Yeah,
yeah.
Being there, not just
Yep.
an online application.
And that's what I tell guys. And I've never had to look for a job, but I know people talk about now how hard it is to find a job. And
Yeah.
I think within 48 hours, I could find a couple jobs if I needed to, but
Yeah.
I've never had to. So
What would you do different if you had to start over again today?
I would never touch a lawnmower again, and I would invest in equipment and connections. It
Yeah.
took me, we're 7 years in now, and a lot of it is who you know. Is
Yeah.
what I've realized in the game is there's so many people that do it, and most of those connections, I would say.
So
is
just
probably
building those relationships, getting
100%.
your face in front of people more.
Yep. Talk to everybody you meet. Shake somebody's hand. I mean, I'm at restaurants, stores, everything, talking to people.
Yeah.
I never have my phone out. I'm looking people in the eyes unless I'm doing work stuff.
You're like
having
the
that
preacher
conversation.
of landscaping.
Kinda, I guess, something.
Like, come to my landscaping business.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. What would you say to someone that was like they're ready to quit their job right now, like they're done, and they want to be on their own? What would you say to them? What advice would you give them?
Put your head down and work. I would say at that point is if you have the understanding that you're ready to get out of your job, stay with your job until you can't anymore. Do something different for yourself, whether that's start a product, a business, a service, anything like that. Figure out what you need to do. And at that point where, I mean, like I was falling back on when I was working with him and started my company, I left the house at 5 a.m. and I was getting home at 9 p.m. 7 days a week for months straight.
Wow.
So I feel as if a lot of people kind of want to take that jump, but they just think, let's take the jump. Like I've got a couple $1,000s saved up. Like I could start a company, but I think it needs to be a little deeper than that. And maybe that's a more strategic plan to it. I'm sure you could do it. I say do it, but yeah, to have a backup, not just a backup plan, but you've got a cushion. You're still getting that 30, 40 hours a week, even as a part-time job, serve at night or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Bartend, whatever.
Yeah, whatever you need to do.
Yeah,
Yep.
makes sense. How old are you?
I am 27 now.
And you started in 2017?
I started in 2017, so right when I was 18, 19, right out of high school.
So you just like, I'm gonna start a business, and you just went full bore.
In high school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and everybody wrote it down on a big old thing. We had 400 people in our class. I wrote down entrepreneur, and everybody was kind of curious. So, well, what's an entrepreneur? So, well, if you're asking a question, I don't think that it's a fit for you. So
You're not gonna be that if you don't know what it is.
Yeah,
already.
totally. So,
Yeah. I think more high schools need to teach entrepreneurial classes, you know, to teach the skills.
Yep.
I mean, they don't teach enough skills out there right now.
Yep. And thankfully now too, the high school I went to, and I know a lot around this area, have construction programs. They never had that when I went to school, which I think is great because in high school I never learned about taxes. I never learned how to run my payroll. I never learned any of that stuff. It's something that you get out into the real world and have to figure out. So.
A lot of people are looking for freedom of time. and they think that if I start a business, I'm gonna be able to go on vacation whenever I want, do whatever I want, whenever I want. How has that been for you?
I'm 7 years in and I ain't figured it out yet.
So you're just working all the time?
All the time. I mean, ideally anybody in business ownership goes for having jobs run by themselves, and
right.
I'm selling. I mean, there's so much more on the bigger scale of things that I need to be doing outside of it, which can give you more freedom of not being tied down to, hey, this needs to be done in a week. Like, you've got a full-time crew that you're running, and I'm out doing what I need to be doing. So, but yeah, that's not a thing for me. It hasn't been for me. So that's not a luxury that I've had. I think the first 2 or 3 years, 45, 50 days straight of work was through the summertime was my record, kind of.
Yeah,
so.
Just because you had to take it when it came.
Yep.
You know, you can't just turn it away.
Yep.
Because you don't want to turn it away because that's more word of mouth that you're going to miss in the future.
Yep.
Yeah.
7 years in, I got to this job site 6 a.m. yesterday morning, and we're doing a job right next door too, and I left there about 9:45 last night.
Wow.
So I left for lunch, left for a meeting. That's it, on site the rest of the time.
Wow. Well, I really appreciate you doing this right now.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you coming out.
What do you have for goals coming up? How do you want to change your company? Looks like you're getting into excavating, obviously. You said you'll do anything, but there's obviously not anything. You're not going to go start a tree trimming business.
Totally. I wouldn't say a direct goal right now, obviously long-term goals, but to keep building. I mean, I'm still young, dumb. I could lose everything tomorrow and flip it around and start another company after that.
Right.
So go all in until I get to a point, I think a point of, and I don't know, everybody says the comfortable point of, I had 20 employees and $4 million, I'll be happy. So I don't know, just see where it takes me. I've done a lot so far, so. Yeah.
What is your revenue goal this year? Do you have one?
Break a mill. I would love to break a mill. Yep.
Okay.
So
this will be your first year breaking a mill.
Yep.
Are you on track?
I am, yes. So, and that's, it's every year, the last 2 years, it's been like, okay, this is going to be the year. And we keep coming in close. So, but I think with now, you're opening a bigger can of worms by doing jobs like this. I mean.
But the overhead's more.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean.
So overhead's more, in the numbers thing. I'm sure if you're over the mill, it's bottom line, but the other line's following right behind that one.
Right.
So
We're looking for net profit.
Yep.
So on a landscaping job, like Colorado Springs, you're doing probably $60,000, $70,000 per house.
It depends. More so, it really depends on what it is. A lot of new construction, you're probably going to be 50 plus, something like that, depending on lot size. Then you can get into residential remodel. We've done a lot of custom stuff
for landscape stuff.
For landscape, yep. So 185,000 is the biggest I've done on residential rip out and replace.
What's the profit on a job like that? Like 50%?
No, 30-ish probably, 30%. Yeah, something like that.
That's a good chunk of change.
So, and that one was earlier on in my company, and that was another turning point kind of for us after we did that one. But that one took 6 months. There's a crew of 5 or 6 of us, me being full-time included on that, and we were there for 5 or 6 months.
Wow,
so.
that's a long time.
Yeah, it was a fun job. So.
Yeah, that's a big job.
Yeah.
So how did you must have had other work coming in during that time.
Yeah.
How did you handle that?
That was one of those things. That's another thing with, not bringing in more guys. It's like, okay, I could have brought in another crew and started doing that, but it's probably a bad thing looking back on it now, business-wise. Not that I was turning down work, but I'm telling people, hey, I'm 3 months out. Like,
right.
Most people would wait. I mean, if you have more of a personal connection with someone, they're going to wait for you. And anybody that doesn't, sorry.
Right.
Yeah. And that was also during COVID. Things have changed now. I think it's easier to find guys, work. COVID 2020, 21, it was impossible to find guys because the government was handing out money to sit at home.
So since this channel's about inspiring people that are out there that want to quit their jobs, go out and do something else, what would you say to them, like inspirationally, like?
Oh man, do it, man. You only live once.
Yeah.
You're not going to get reincarnated. If you fail, who cares?
Not
a lot of people are scared of you're not getting younger. A lot of people are scared of the F word, failing, and there's never ever been a thought in my head. I never did anything once in my company where I've been like, well, what if I fail?
Yeah.
So you might lose sleep. I mean, before you start something like this, you got a 65,000-pound excavator that you got to track into a hole, and it's nothing you've never done before. But yeah.
Right.
So yeah, go for it. Jump. Do it.
Yeah, just do it.
No look back.
Don't look back.
Don't look back.
Just do it and
You can look down from the top, but don't look back.
Okay, I like that. Don't look down. You can look down from the top, but don't look back. I like it. I like that. What's your leadership style with your guys?
I tend to run my company a little different. Everybody I would say around is, we've got one guy, two guys that are supers underneath me. But other than that, everybody gets free rein, not free reins, but if Paul needs help with Peter, Peter tells Paul, Paul can tell Peter. I mean, that's kind of a little more relaxing type job environment. It's not the stress of, oh, hey, the boss is here. It's like, hey, this is our task and this is what needs to be done. All of us, let's get this done. So I've kind of implemented that, and that's, I don't know if it has its draws or not yet. I haven't got to that.
Seems like you're leading from the front.
Yeah.
Like you're the first one in the hole. You're the jump in the tractor.
For sure. Yep.
You'll be
lead
raking.
by example. Yep.
Yeah. So
100%.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. Yeah.
And that's, you gain a lot of respect. I think my guys really respect me because of that. Is I'm not there to tell them what to do. I'm not going to make them do anything I don't want to do.
Right. Right.
So, I won't hop in and do and say, hey, well, let me show you how it's done.
No one's better than you, and you're better than no one else.
Nope.
I like it. I like it.
We're all here for the same mission.
Yeah.
Ultimately, get the job done.
Yeah.
Keep everybody safe. So.
How has it been with, you're young, how has that been leading a group of guys in a company? Like, have you had any issues with that?
A little bit, yeah. Having guys that are older than you seem to been a little different. And I'd say the biggest thing with being a young guy in it is just client, not client, but ultimately you customers don't entrust that you know what you're doing. You're not a 50-year-old man that's been doing construction your whole life.
Right.
So that's the biggest thing, is like to get across that point. And with some of these bigger jobs we've done, commercial installs or stuff like that, it's just, I don't know, you're confident. You talk and say,
there's just some kid.
Yeah. Not just some kid, for sure.
You know what you're doing.
I turned adult at 18, sadly.
Yeah. But a lot of people look at people in their 20s like that, like they don't know anything. They're a millennial or whatever, and they look down on you. I'm a millennial.
Yep.
You know, I always hear people say stuff about millennials.
Yeah.
I hear millennials saying stuff about millennials. Like, you're a millennial, right?
Yep.
They're like, I know, but I'm different. Yeah, we're all different. What's the best business advice you've been given?
The best piece of advice or direction I've got is just to do it, I guess, was kind of the biggest thing. Is like you had asked me earlier, a lot of people, it's the leap. It's like, so I would say that's the best piece of it. Don't be scared.
Yeah, don't be scared. Just go out and do it. And
watch the F word. Don't fail. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
So that's never an option.
I love it. I love it. Cool. Well, that's awesome, man. Thank you.
I like it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.